there, and welcome to your travel seminar training series powered by Travel and End Club, the #1 travel support community. My name is Olusegun, the travel consultant and business coach, and I'll be taking you on a journey to demystify the mysteries in the world of travel so that you can have enough information to achieve your set travel goal. Stay with me in a moment as we start. So welcome back. So years ago I came across a book, Leadership Dubai Style by Dr. Tom Ware, and in that book there is a quote that is so elaborate, and he said every morning in Africa a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will be killed, and every morning a lion wakes up, it knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle, when the sun comes up you better be running. And that is how Africa is. That is how industries, countries, economies, that is what they are. The race is not to the fastest or to the slowest. You must continually be on the move. And I know the reason why you are seeing this video is because you have a burning desire to achieve a travel goal that is in your mind. So it doesn't matter whether you're a lion or you're a gazelle. The most important thing is that you must be running. There is no time for slacking. There is no time for waiting behind. There is no time for frivolities. It is a time whereby you take your travel goals serious, because it is either you are eaten by a lion or it is either a lion goes hungry. So whichever way, whether you're a lion or a gazelle, you must make sure that you are running. Now when we talk about running, you think about what are you running to? You are running towards your goal. You are running towards your fulfillment. You are running towards your financial liberty. You are running towards your travel goals and a whole lot of things. And that is why at the break of dawn, you must be running towards something. You must be running towards a set goal, something that you want to achieve, something that keeps you sleepless. And that is how the life works. Now there is this quote that says the biggest obstacle you will ever have to overcome is your mind. Throughout my years of working as a travel consultant, 15 years and counting, I've come to discover that the limitation that a lot of people face is right there in their mind. It's a limitation of the mind. If you can overcome that, you can overcome anything. Somebody wakes up and say, I am from Okeo and I want to go to Canada, and then you begin to hear different voices from the parents, from the siblings, from the friends, that even if somebody wants to achieve a travel goal, is it going to be you? Even if somebody is looking at achieving this thing, is it going to be you? And a lot of negative emotion starts to come in. There are some of you that are watching this video, there are a lot of limitations around you. It could be finance, it could be knowledge, but I need you to understand, as you're seeing this video, that the limitation and the greatest limitation that you can face is your mind. You are the only limitation that can limit yourself. If you refuse to limit yourself, then absolutely nothing will limit you. And I need you to understand that who we are today is a result of all the decisions that we have ever made in life. I'm going somewhere. Whatever we wish to be in the future depends on our present action. Now, to become who you wish to be, simply determine how that person will act, and then little by little you become that person. So where we find ourselves now is not a product of today. It is a product of the decisions that we have made. Now I'm saying this because as you're seeing this video, you are in the process of making another decision that will affect the future. Now the question is, am I taking the right decision? Am I taking it for myself, for my wife, for my child? Am I taking it for my children? Do I want better place for them? What is the reason why I want to travel now? You want to travel because, not because of now, but because of the future. And you understand that our past results and decisions brought us to where we are. In the same like manner, our present decision will take us to where we want to be. And the power to make that decision is in your hands. We have the power to choose. We have the power to become. What I will become is not in another person's hand. There's a saying that says, it is not your fault when you are born poor, but it is your fault when you remain poor. Meaning that you could have taken some decision irrespective of your foundation or the circumstances that brought you to become who you want to be. And our power, what makes us human beings, is in our ability to make decisions. Even in the Bible, the Bible says, I present to you today life and death, choose one. That means man has been empowered with the power of choice. And the choices that we make today will determine who we become tomorrow. Now, when we talk about choices, we're also talking about capacity. When we talk about choices, we're talking about freedom. Now, what choices are you going to make today to affect the future? Now, there's a picture on your screen that you are seeing, and it is just a guesswork. I need you to identify those buildings and look at where are they located. The buildings that you can see, where are they located? Now, if you look carefully, you can see one that has a whole lot of blue around it. There's one that is on an ocean. There's one that has like a mosque-like building, and there's one that has like a bridge. So how much of travel do you know? You want to travel? Yes, I understand that. But how much of it have you done research? So look up these buildings on Google and come up with your answer, and let me see if your answer is the same as mine. So for the one there, the one to my top right, that is the Opera House in Sydney, Australia. Then I have the London Bridge in London. I have the Taj Mahal in India. And you see that fourth one? It's just a random internet picture. Okay? Forgive me for playing with you on that. It's just a random internet picture. So what is our objective and goal for this seminar? My goal is to show you how to achieve your set travel goals. Now, take note of this. It is not me that is setting your travel goals. You are the one to set the travel goal for yourself. So ultimately, it is your plan, not my plan. Because what happens is a lot of people come to me and say, Mr. Shegu, what do you have on ground? What is available? And I'm like, no, it is not for me to make that choice for you. It is for you to make that choice, or the best I can do is to guide you in making that choice and helping you fulfill it. So my goal is to show you how to achieve your set travel goals and exploit travel opportunities, and also to fund your travel dream. Now, how far have you traveled? In the world we are in today, there are over 196 countries. Approximately 6,500 languages are spoken. Over 3,000 tribes live in Africa alone. Within the Yoruba, you have the Ijebu, you have the Jesha, you have the Ijebu-Jesha. You know, it's a whole lot of tribes. Over 7,000 tribes live in the United States of America alone. And there is so much to learn from outside world. You cannot afford to limit yourself. You cannot afford to camp yourself in one place. So the fact that you have that burning desire to explore travel shows that you are destined for greatness. I know what I'm saying. How far have you traveled? Life is an adventure. You need to take risk. A lot of people are being held back because they do not want to take risk, or they are looking at somebody to take that risk for them. So when you see in the marketplace, people will say, can you help me process all of these things? And when the visa is successful, I will give you money. So you want to enjoy travel. You want to go with your entire family, but you don't want to take any form of risk. Are you with me? And life is too short for you to wait. Travel. If you have 196, there are people that were born in Ife. They grew up in Ife. They've lived their life in Ife. They are working with University of Ife. They've not gone out to explore the world. They are Caucasians, they are white people, they are Chinese, they are Koreans, they are Ghanaians. There are a whole lot of beautiful people and culture in this world. Even when you get to heaven, God will ask you, I asked you to subdue, to dominate and move around here. What have you done? What have you achieved? It is critical. Now, what is travel? I define travel as a way of life and a sure way to acquisition of knowledge. There is no way you will travel and you will not add something to what you know, because you'll be exposed to different cultures, different people. And as the saying goes, knowledge is power. Therefore, travel means acquisition of power. The more you travel, the more you have power. In Nigeria, where I'm from, there was a time it was a political era, and a particular party was jostling for the governorship ticket, and a whole lot of people were struggling for that candidacy ticket. And then somebody went for a meeting in London and came back with the ticket, and I begin to imagine, how can the ticket that people are fighting for in my small city, how can it be in London? That is the power of travel. So travel helps you to acknowledge or to acquire power. So if travel is equals to knowledge, and they say knowledge is equals to power, then I can say that travel is equals to income. Because if you have knowledge, you can generate value that will bring income. So travel is one of the best ways to make money. Have you not observed that anytime somebody travels out, the status changes automatically? If it is somebody, they don't even care whether I went to Dubai, whether I went to Lomé, whether I went to Cotonou. The main thing is, as once this person traveled, the whole thing has changed. And why do you need to travel? You need to travel to fulfill your destined full potential. Destined full potential. You see, there is something that we call environment. Environment. If you plant an imported apple seed, and you plant it in my city in Ibadan, it is not going to germinate. It's not going to germinate. The reason is because the environment that it is in is different. The environment that it is in is different. So you need to fulfill your potential. The value of a medical doctor in Nigeria is different from the value of a medical doctor in US. You can even talk about the exchange rate. You can talk about a whole lot of things. But when a cleaner in Nigeria is earning 30,000 naira or 20,000 naira, even on a federal government scale, somebody that is cleaning the street of New York is earning maybe $1,200. If you convert it, that is more than the salary of a professor in Nigeria. What am I saying? You need to travel so that you can fulfill your full destined potential. So as I was saying, there's a lot of questions that you get to ask. So is it achievable to travel? Yes, for sure. It's all up to you if you are ready to take the journey. Travel and exploring the world is a personal decision. And I'm going to share two stories of two people with you that have inspired me all this while. Two people. And the first person is the man you can see on your screen. His name is Ali Baba. If you don't know him, go and write it down. Ali Baba is the president of Ali. His name is Jack Ma, pardon me. He's the CEO and president of Alibaba Group. And he said a quote. He said, today is hard, tomorrow will be worse. He said, but the day after tomorrow, there's going to be a sunshine. There's going to be a sunshine. So let us look at the story of Jack Ma. I call him the father of failure. Now, in his early childhood, Jack Ma failed his primary school examination. Not once, but twice. He failed 3 times in his middle school exams. That's like JSS 3. Now that is somebody you see that cannot become anything. Now when applying for university after his high school, Jack failed his entrance exam another 3 times before finally joining a university in China. He even applied and wrote to Harvard 10 times about being admitted and got rejected each time. Who writes to Harvard University 10 times? At the 3rd time, what kept him going? On the 4th, on the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, what kept him going? What kept him going? And see one of his quotes. He said, if you want to be a great company, think about what social problem you can solve. It's about solving problems. That quote is accredited to him. So I continue with his story. So during and after his bachelor's degree, he tried and failed to get a job in multiple places. After spending 3 years to get into the university, he failed to land a job after applying to them 30 times. And he said this, he said when KFC came to China, he said 24 people went for the job, 23 people were accepted. I was the only guy that was not accepted. Somebody that has been tagged a failure. He said he was also one of the 5 applicants for a job in the police force and was only one getting rejected and was told you are of no good out of 5 people. Also on entrepreneurial undertakings, Jack Ma went on to fail on 2 of his initial ventures, but that didn't stop him in a way of dreaming bigger. How do you define somebody who dreams bigger? Somebody who goes and writes to Harvard back to back, and they're telling you no, we don't want you, and you keep knocking on that door. There are a lot of us, we knock on travel door, you apply for US visa once you are refused, and you say they have refused me, I don't know what. You need to keep knocking on that door. They're going somewhere. One of the quotes of Jack Ma, he said, we are never in lack of money, we lack people with dreams who can die for those dreams. We don't lack money, we lack people who have dreams and I can die for those dreams. Can you die for this travel dream? I'm asking you. So after finally coming to terms with all his rejection and failure, Jack Ma visited US in 1995. That is a red. He visited where? US. So a man who has been in China all his life and has been tagged a failure had a singular opportunity to travel in the year 1995. for a government undertaking projects related to building of highways. It was then that Jack Ma was first introduced to the internet and computers. And then computers were rare in China, given the high cost associated with them, and internet or emails were non-existent. The first word he searched on the Mosaic browser was beer, and it popped up results from different countries, but no sign of China anywhere. And he decided it was time for China and his people to get on the internet. Now, I saw one of his interviews. He said when he wanted to register his company, and he told them something internet, they were asking him, what is internet? Ability to see, to have a vision and key into the future. So the life of this man would have still been miserable if he did not have the opportunity to travel out. So traveling out was the singular thing that changed his life and gave him a lifelong opportunity. Today, that man is worth in excess of $40 billion and one of the richest people in the world. So let us bring this home. How many of us know Aliko Dangote, the president of Dangote Groups? Presently is worth roughly about between 13 and 16 billion dollars, and he's the richest man in Africa for the 9th or 11th time consecutively. So let us look at this. He granted an interview to Francine Leclerc from France, a publisher of Bloomberg, and they asked him a question. They said, you have made billions in cement, something people have been doing. Now what did you see? How did you figure it out? He said, I think actually I figured out was looking at the entire African continent and saying, what do we actually produce? And he said the better way he thought would be to empower Africa to meet our own infrastructural need. And one of the things are the core attributes of Travel and Learn Club is to help people to travel, so that when you go, you are exposed to knowledge, you have information. And sometimes in the future, you can use this empowerment that you have and the knowledge that you have acquired from a developed country to come back to Africa and Nigeria to develop it. And that is the reason why we are doing a whole lot of this. So they asked him, so the interviewer asked him that before we talk too much about your future, what was it like growing up in the past? And then he said, I grew up in Kano, Nigeria. After my school, I went to Egypt and finished there. Now, a lot of us say he's the richest man in the world, but what are the things that has happened that made him the richest man in the world? Have you observed that? Why do politicians stop politicians? Why do they send their children abroad to go and study? Why do people expose themselves to foreign things? I so much believe in Africa, and that is the reason why I'm so passionate about this. So Dangote said he schooled in Egypt, and then he moved to Lagos to do business. So you can see at a point in his life, he was also exposed to that traveling. And whether we like it or not, that will have added in tremendous way to who he is today. And then they asked him that you spent some time in Brazil. That was another place that Dangote visited for a long time. In Brazil, what was it like? Now listen, he said Brazil was having a lot of currency challenges then, as well as inflation, but they were very industrious. They have a lot of industries that have been built by entrepreneurs. He said, I got to interview quite a lot of them, a man with a purpose. By going around, I sort of went to Brazil to convince myself to move into industrialization. Now, he went to Brazil. He said he was moving around. A lot of us that are looking at this video, you need to go somewhere. You need to go somewhere and perceive it. You need to go somewhere and feel what is happening there for you to come about that eureka ideas. I tell people, when you travel, why do you travel? As a travel consultant, any place I go to, I'm looking for companies, I'm looking for DMOs, I'm looking for partners that will help my business. If it's a pastor that travels somewhere, they are looking out for churches where they can preach. If it is an architect, they are looking at structures. There are things that come into your mind when you are exposed to development. So he said he was in Brazil to introduce himself, to encourage and convince himself to go into industrialization. And that is the whole lot of the ideas. We need to go somewhere to see development and come back here to implement them. And they asked him, what's the most powerful thing that you learned when you were there? And listen, he said, I went to a company that is called Arisco. It was my first time seeing over 600 people working in a single factory. I went there to visit them and see how they started the business. He said they have begun very small, salt, seasoning, adding garlic into soap. By the time I was there, Arisco was producing 500 different items, even toothpaste. He said you could not wake up in the morning without using their product. Let me ask you today, how can you escape a Dangote product in Nigeria? The same principle he went to see somewhere, he implemented it here, and it's working. The same thing and the same reason why you should travel. Don't travel because you are looking for greener pasture. Don't travel because Nigeria is frustrating, Africa is limiting me. No, travel because you want to go and seek opportunity. You want that eureka moment. It is not just about work. It could come in form of business contract. It could be in any form. But whenever you have opportunity to travel, open up your mind. Open up your mind. I myself, travel has changed my mind. You know, I read physics in my undergraduate, and I had to do masters in energy management and technology. Then I was opportunity to travel. When I traveled, I fell in love with travel, and that is what brought me to the industry, and it has brought me closer to my dreams. There's no way you will travel and you not become a responsible person, because when you are coming, everybody will call you. What are you going to bring back home? What are you going to bring back home? What will you bring back for me? Travel brings you close to corridor of power. Let me explain that. Do you know that if a Nigerian government is traveling out on the streets of London, there will be no security guards carrying guns? So if I have a proposal, or I want to say something to say Governor Seyi Makinde, who is the present governor of Oyo State, and we meet on the street of London, I can walk up to him and say, Your Excellency, my name is Olusegun. I also stay in Ibadan and I have a business running. I think there is something he can do about Agodi Gardens and the tourist center, and I have one or two ideas. And he says, okay, see me when we get back to Nigeria. Now, a lot of people are fighting for the attention of the government in Nigeria. Somebody's coming from Okeo, somebody from Ogbomosho. A lot of people are surrounding him and asking questions. And if I place a call to him and I say I'm Segun, the first thing is, which Segun are? Sir, the Segun that we met at Heathrow. He said, okay, come and see me. And then the deal will be set. So it puts you on the corridor of power. Men of God that you cannot see here. Clerics that you cannot see, that are difficult to see. When you travel out, you see them easily. It puts you away from the crowd. One of the reasons you should travel puts smile on your face. When you see those that are departing Nigeria, they are smiling. If you see those that are arriving, they are frowning their face. The reason they are frowning, I don't know. But those that are traveling out, you find that they are smiling more than those that are arriving. It helps you to spend good time with your loved ones, and a whole lot of that, and a whole lot of that. So why do you need to make this move I'm talking about? Number one, understand that the destinies of people are attached to your success. You don't travel just for yourself. There are a lot of people that are attached to you. For example, if I want to go anywhere now, I have people to call and say, send me invitation. The person sending me invitation, if the person did not make a move, how will the person be able to help me? So there are some people who will never be able to travel because you have not traveled. So you need to travel because of those that their success is attached to you. And you should know that it is important for at least one person in a family to be abroad. I don't know why I always preach it, but that is my message. At least one person in an entire family must be abroad, because no one knows where this world is going to. So with what I've told you, do you think travel is possible, or do you think you need to travel? Yes. The answer is yes and yes. You need to travel. And the question in your mind right now is, how will I achieve this travel dream? And I hope by this time you have written the travel dream down. How do I achieve this travel dream? The number one thing you need to do is to be informed. Information is priceless. We are in the information age. Information is the new currency. Was Kofi Annan that said that knowledge is power, information is liberating, education is the premise of progress in every society and in every family. Knowledge is power, information sets you free. According to Kofi Annan. When we are talking about information, what do you need to know? What is a visa? A lot of times you say visa. It's your entry permit that allows citizens of one country to enter another. So if you want to go to a place where another citizen of that country, you need to obtain a visa. And most times that visa is an entry on a passport or other travel documents that is made by an official of a government indicating you have been granted authority to enter. That is what we call a visa. And you should know that a visa is different from a stamp. Now, there's a lot of confusion around that. Okay, somebody say my passport has been stamped. Somebody say my passport, I have a visa. Now visa is usually in two forms, either electronic or physical. If it's physical, it will be stick to a page of your passport. If it is electronic, you can print it online in form of a PDF and you can tender it and it is still valid. So visa permits you to enter another place. Now we talk about entry stamp. Now entry stamp is attached to that visa once you land in that country. An exit stamp is put when you are leaving that country. I hope that is simple enough. Now there are some key things that you can do. There are some free visa countries to Nigerians, and you should do a research depending on the country that you are in to know which countries can you travel to for free, whereby you don't need a visa. For a Nigerian passport holder, in Africa you have about 10 countries, in America you have about 7 countries, in Asia you have about 8 countries, and several countries now are coming on the e-passport. Australia, Turkey, Dubai, India, Georgia, Kenya, Kuwait, Malaysia. All these countries that I've mentioned, they have e-visa protocols whereby you can apply online and get your visas approved. Now, what are the types of visas? Now, I'm giving you information now. What are the types of visas? We have visitors visas, we have transit visas, we have work permit, business visas, transit without visa, we have exit permits. Now, under visitor or tourist, you can have family entertainment. It could be a medical visa, it could be a business visa, it could be a student visa. For United States, we call it F1. You could be a clergy. You know, understand your type of visa, and it is your travel purpose that will inform the type of visa that you'll be applying for. Now, what are the factors? People say, I applied for visa and they didn't give me. Some will say, I did everything right. Now, I have seen somebody who has all the documents and was refused. I've seen somebody who does not have complete document and was granted. That's why I said, if you are going to any country, it's a function of knocking on the door and saying, olusegun, I have come, I want to enter Germany. And Germans will say, come in, or they say no. If they say no, it is not the end of life. What will I do? I'll check my application and reapply. Refusal of a visa is never the end of life. What are the factors that affect visa issuance? Diplomatic relationship between two countries. Dubai, UAE and Nigeria, they've been having issues. And maybe somebody can go there. They will stop issuing visas for us. So it is not that our documents are not good or they don't want us. The problem is the two countries are having a fiasco, and that means nobody is going anywhere. Regional coalition of sovereign states. You look at ECOWAS. That means a Nigerian passport allows you free entry into other, even though it's not absolutely free, but then free entry into other West African states. We have the Schengen agreement. Okay, that's why we call it Schengen visas. About 26 or 27 countries in Europe came together to allow for free for easy economic activities between them. So if you have a visa to one, you can access the rest. We have the APCOP relationship in South America. And then you should know that the action of citizens of same country can happen in a place. I go back to the UAE. So recently, as at the time of shooting this, they stopped granting visa to male that are less than 35. And the problem was there were a lot of cultism activities and clashes that was going on in Dubai and the UAE. And they discovered that the culprits were younger Nigerian adults less than 35. So the best thing to come is what? Those that fall under this category, stop them from coming in. So the action of a set of people are affecting another person. So if you get a visa refusal, necessarily you might not be the problem. And then present world events. Who wants to go to Wuhan, China, the birthplace of coronavirus? Now this is a global crisis. It could be health-related issues. There are sanctions that are coming up now. They say we don't want people from Africa. They ban they can ban like 10 countries on the continent because what? These are reasons that it can be refused that are beyond your personal control. Now when we talk about visa documentation, and I always say that visa documentation is the power line of obtaining the visa. What are the basic documents you need? Number one, you need your international passport. That is the starting point. You must have your international passport. To get it in Nigeria, you visit your nearest immigration office and request for it. You pay the said amount that they ask you to pay, and then you get your passport, because that's where your visa will be put on. So most times, if you are having any dealings internationally, you need to get your international passport. Then understand your purpose of travel. Always have a strong reason to travel. What you intend to go and do abroad. What is your purpose? Your purpose must be clear and weighty. You cannot say you want to go and charge food, or your brother, sister's husband's wife, cousin's uncle's child gave birth and you want to attend. That is a useless purpose. Your purpose must be clear and weighty. If you are going for study, you look at your admission letter. If you are going on tour, you have your tour bookings. If you are going for a family function, maybe the invitation to the wedding, maybe a graduation ceremony, maybe a conference registration, travel purpose must be clearly established. And then when you get there, where do you want to stay? That is another question you must answer. You must have your proof of accommodation. It could be an hotel, it could be an Airbnb, or it could be that you want to stay with someone. If somebody is sending you an invitation, let them clearly state that they will be hosting you for your set time. Now, if you have somebody inviting you, what are the documents? Number one, they will send you their invitation letter, then their account statement, their mortgage statement, and their utility bill as a proof of address. Also, they will send you their passport data page or their residency visa page, so that it will show that they are really legal in that place. Now, the problem here is a lot of people who are inviting you, they don't want you to know their financial status, so they are reluctant in sending their statement of account to you. In such case, you can look at how the person can send such document directly to the embassy. Another thing they are looking out for is your evidence of source of income. It can be your employment letter, your statement of account, your introduction letter from your place of work, or introduction letter from your bank, your tax clearance, your life insurance policies, your shares, stocks, bonds, company registration document, work ID. All of those are a proof of your source of income. You know, and one of the concerns, in fact, the 80% of the concerns of people or those who are looking at of consulars is funding. How much does this person have? In fact, most times they go straight to fund. That's why you see, if you have money, you won't have problem traveling. And that's why I always say, the reason why a lot of us want to travel is because we don't have money. And the reason why we've not traveled is because we don't have the money. So once you get money, you're able to solve this problem. Then evidence of strong family ties, your marriage certificate, family pictures, family vacation, birth certificate of the children, it will go a long way. Also ensure when applying that you take the right passport photograph to the embassy. Now we talk about travel history. If you are looking at a country like Canada, they prefer you've gone somewhere before. If you are looking for a place like US, they prefer you've gone somewhere before. So don't waste your energy just jumping at these countries. Try as much as possible to build your travel history. Travel history helps you show consistency and proves that when you go to that country, your tendency of running away is highly reduced. Now, what are your travel trips? Early planning. Early planning. Avoid rushing your travel plan. You want to travel now, you want to go now, you're looking for everything now. Now we always create a problem. But it's important for you to create enough space, enough room for you to plan ahead of time so that you can make corrections in between your application process. Then select your destination carefully. Look for where will work for you, where will help you. If you're an architect, Dubai must be the number one place on your mind. Not US, not Canada. Travel has gone beyond what you use to it is now travel has gone beyond what you just do. It is now something you use to support your travel purpose. Then make sure you hold on to your information. You can't be this today and be that tomorrow when applying for a visa process. Be what you really are. Avoid telling lies. Have up-to-date destination information, where you are going to, what is happening there. And what are the reasons why visas are refused? Incomplete documentation, lack of reasonable travel purpose. If your documentation are not complete, there is no second chance to say, hey bro, please come, we are looking for this document so that we can approve your visa. No, there is normally no second chance. So at that point, it is better you get it once and for all. Incomplete documentation can be a reason why your visas are refused. Also, lack of reasonable travel purpose. I mentioned that earlier. Presentation of false document. Whatever happens, don't try. If there's an agent or consultant that is working for you and is planning to do it, tell them not to do it. Once you are caught, you are liable to 10 years ban. Wrong application form. You are filling medical instead of tourist because you are saying that I can do it all by myself. Or later on, timely application. You are going for a conference on the 15th of June, you are applying on the 1st of June, and now by the time they are treating your application is 30th of June, they will refuse you because what you want to go and do has been completed. So what's the essence? So get professional help. The only mistake you can make is not asking for help. Always ask for help. It's very important. And I also need you to understand the travel decision. There are pillars of travel decision making. There are pillars. When we talk about travel decision making, there are pillars. There are pillars to it. And I said that in the earlier video. The first one is travel purpose. The second one is economic viability. The third one is strong family ties. And the fourth one is travel history. So let me do a little bit of explanation. Imagine a student who has gotten admission and has paid school fees and wants to go to Canada, and Canada normally will tell you, we need you to have travel history. Now, will that person be granted? Possibly yes, because the travel purpose does not really necessitate that the person has a travel history. And for example, you want to go to UK on vacation and you have not gone anywhere before, will they give you? Most likely yes, because they are not strong on travel history. But if you take that same application to US, the most likely is no, because they expect you to have proven that you have gone somewhere before. If our travel purpose or travel history is so strong that if you have gone to US in the last year and you are applying for Canadian visa, they will tell you not to put your statement of account again. Why? Somebody who has gone to US and returned to his country, why would the person want to run away in Canada? I hope these things are making sense. Travel history, proof of strong family ties. If you are emotionally attached to a place, it shows you're responsible. So even when you run away, they know that your heart will be drawn to your family. You want to come back. Alright? Economic viability. Make money. The more money you have, the easier it is for you to travel. Also, there is what I call G factor. That is the God factor is involved. In every decision that has to do with visa processing, God factor is involved. Grace and favor cannot be purchased with money. I've seen people who do not qualify get a visa. I've seen people who have qualified get refused. So there's a G factor. Now let me ask you, with all I've told you, do you think travel is achievable? Yes. It's just about putting your documents together and applying to the right place at the right time. Get the right documents to the right embassy at the right time, and you get your visa. What do you have to do? You need to start now. A lot of people have planned, they have procrastinated, they have, I will do it tomorrow. They have done it to the extent that their international passport is nothing short but an ID card. And that should not be you. Start now. What should you do? Follow us across all social media platforms. Travel and End Club. Like us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube specifically where we drop these videos. Follow us across social media platforms. And call this number 08131264503 to schedule your free 30 minutes consultation service. Your free 30 minutes consultation service. Call the number, send us an email. Let us discuss. Travel is not something we just say, okay, you want to go, okay, go and pay this. People say how much, and I'm like, how much? Money is not the priority when it comes to travel. The starting point is understanding what we want to do. Mr. Segun, how do I get there? What do I need? Documentation of Mr. A most times is different from documentation of Mr. B because they don't live the same lifestyle. Somebody is pensionable, another person is not pensionable. Somebody has bulk sum, somebody does business, another person earns salary. There's a lot of dynamics, and you need to write consultants to help you achieve this. And that's why the Travel and End Club is there to guide you and to help you. It's a supporting community. Okay? And then you join the Travel and End Club. Pay your one-time membership fee of 5,000 naira and join the club. The moment you pay that 5,000, there are several benefits that are attached to it. Apart from the consultation, you have access to all these video trainings, and then we will process your visa for a fraction of what you will have paid outside. What you will have paid 500,000 for outside, you will pay roughly 10% of it once you are a member of the club, because the goal is simple. We are building a support community. In the club, we give loans for business support. We do business trainings. We are big on trainings. We grant you business support. We do contributions. We have investment. We support ourselves. You are going somewhere, you don't know anybody. You get your visa to Canada, you are going there. Travel and End Club will link you with somebody there. There's a whole lot you can get out of the club. So what are you waiting for? Call this number and join Travel and End Club today. And let's get you started. Make sure you follow our YouTube page. There's a whole lot of other information that you need to do. But most importantly, secure your slot and your space. For the free 30 minutes consultation, in the consultation we'll do a one-on-one. We will evaluate you one-on-one and join the Travel and Learn Club. And if you are able to put all of this together, achieving your travel goal is just made easy. It's just made easy. There's a product of Travel and Learn Club. We call it the Travel Cooperative. What is Travel Cooperative? Travel Cooperative is a product whereby we bring in people who are going to the same destination together. So I want to take a vacation to Dubai. It will cost me 600,000. I bring in 10 people together, and every month we are contributing 60,000. In a month, one person is going, another person is coming. The next month, one person will go. We'll contribute for that person to go, and before you know it, everybody has gone, paying a fraction of that money. That is development, teamwork, leverage. That's what we do in Travel and Learn Club. I hope to see you there. Send me an email, reach out to me, and let's get started. Let's start discussing. Have a lovely day. Remember, share and invite your friends to come on this platform as we build together. Have a lovely day. My name is Olusegun, the travel consultant and business coach. Thank you.